Hi guys, Togo here with a new video, and this video is more of a discussion video about pre-patch, solo queue RPGs, solo shuffle, I think PvP in general, and I'm going to give you some harsh truth about pre-patch. Pre-patch is not meant to be balanced. I know a lot of people are like complaining about the balancing, complaining about the armor bug. It's not really a bug, it just is like scaling is kind of ruined because they scaled it for level 80 and for PvE or whatever. And that kind of sucks for us because obviously a warrior or a hunter or a rogue even dealing less damage because of armor is a bit yeah, it's a bit sad because it kind of gives you how it worked back in the day. In Wrath of the Lich King, for example, armor was quite important. Because you could actually defend yourself, except if the guy actually built armor penetration, which was a stat back in the day. Now it is just not an option. So obviously, if someone has 70% armor, or whenever I'm going to bear form as on my druid, I would have 75%, for example. Well, nobody's going to kill me if it's an arms warrior or a fury or whatever. Maybe bleeds, that's all. There was no world where you could actually like down me. So obviously, that being said, all the tier lists that you see from people that do pre-patch stuff, like for example me, I did make a tier list for pre-patch because people would ask for it, and also just in general there is a demand, and obviously we YouTubers or content creators, we try to give what the people want in general, but as all the things pre-patch are really random. Its balancing is 0. It will also not be balanced at all, this pre-patch. It will be 1 month of this. So obviously, if you want to keep your sanity, just don't take it too serious or just don't play too much PvP. I know me saying that is kind of hypocritical because I'm a PvPer, so most of the time I do play is to PvP. Now I'm doing a bit less because I'm actually leveling alts. It's quite easy to spam, like for example dungeons. You're a healer or a tank, well, you are going to level quite fast. Like I mean, if you're doing Dragonflight dungeons, those are like 15 minutes a pop. You get like 2 levels per dungeon. So if you're like calculating it correctly, you would be level 70 after 5 hours, something like that. If you have an extremely good group, you don't need to find any groups anymore, and you just spam dungeons after dungeons, you'll be leveling even faster. But I think PvP is in a great state in War Within. It will be balanced. They will balance it even further. I think it will be in a good state. But the great state comes from the abundance of choices you will have to PvP. You will have solo shuffle, you will have solo QRPG, you will have 2v2 or even 3v3. You're going to have also 10v10 RPGs if you do so desire to do so. So there's also that option. Also, world PvP, although world PvP is kind of a joke in general for World of Warcraft because they don't really implement any objectives that you would like to reach over time. Like there's no fort fights, they're not keep fights, they're not trying to give you like territorial dominance, for example. That doesn't exist anymore. It hasn't existed since ages ago. Kind of wish it was something for World of Warcraft, but they're never going to do that, unfortunately, because it requires a lot of work, obviously. But I want to say that right now, if you base your spec or your class main based on pre-patch power levels, like really if you're hitting hard or not, it would be a mistake. I think you should look at playstyles. Like whenever I'm playing, like making a video about Elemental Shaman or about Frost Decay or whatever, I'm not really talking about like purely power level, guys. Like I know maybe you can take the shortcut of he likes the spec because it's OP. But no, I think specs being OP is temporary. Often it gets actually nerfed or gets like reworked, or just in general can also change because of the meta. Like some specs are just counters to others. A bit less nowadays because you have like less soft counters. You have more soft counters and not hard counters like back in the day. But I still would like. I still would like to say that, guys, don't get discouraged if you're playing a warrior, or if you're playing a rogue, or if you're playing like, I don't know, a MM hunter, BM hunter, for example. The damage is skewed right now because of armor. What you should look at whenever you're like going to decide for your future main is to obviously look at playstyles. Look at, do you like the spec? Do you like the class? Do you like how it feels? Do you like how it plays? Do you like the builds? Do you like the sentiment? Do you like the multiple specs that offers that class? Don't look at, oh, my class can one-shot right now, because this is a pre-patch. It was also the same for pre-patch for Dragonflight. You had like a lot of specs were busted. Obviously you have some specs that are going to be changed because they're busted on beta as well, and they are going to be changed, obviously. But like, for example, Elemental Shaman on beta is a respectable class and spec. It plays well, in my opinion. Some people may think it's a bad spec since rework, and right now it is good only because of the abundance of stats and just in general how it plays. But I, for one, prefer how it plays right now, contrary to Dragonflight, where you would spam literally lava burst after lava burst after lava burst every single global, which I didn't like. Right now you can have like multiple builds where you could also just decide to cast lava burst instead of like instant casts lava burst. So obviously that is the option. But I wanted to make that video because I do feel like some people may think that right now pre-patch is a representation from level 80 and how it will be in the War Within, and I want to say that it's not going to happen. It's not going to be like this. Obviously the beta is still a bit of whack even, like they need to do a lot of balancing, they need to do a lot of changes. Hopefully they do so. I'm a bit not scared for season 1, but I'm scared for launch. I think launch will be buggy, but season 1, wherever actually something matters, it will be fine. I think they're going to fix it. But I think like right now we only have like less than a month, I think 3 weeks before the release. So we'll have to see. I do trust Blizzard right now, especially because of the mini change that they did and how they actually said, look, we are going to take Dragonflight, that is going to be the basis, and we're going to build upon that, and we're not going to scratch everything what Dragonflight was. And that's a good thing, because again, it means that they are learning. A lot of expansions actually scratched everything what the other expansion did, which was actually a mistake, because we never really built upon itself. Also, leveling wise, I think Dragonflight is a great expansion to level from 1 to like from 10 to 70. Obviously, I would like to see them actually like revamp the old world and how leveling is. I think phases should be gone right now. It feels a bit lonely sometimes in the old world, or just in general how it plays in Cataclysm. I would like to see them remove a lot of the phasing and a lot of like the loneliness of the leveling experience. But it's a bit different, it's a bit hard because it's retail and leveling is just not really part of the experience, which is a bit of a mistake in my opinion, because of the new players that would maybe want to play like the War Within. They will probably have to level, and a lot of the MMOs have like difficulty to accept that leveling is important for the new player experience. But anyways, kind of a ramble, trying to talk about about like PvP and how it's supposed to be, and not really how you think it will be. And a lot of like criticism that I would get on Attilas, for example. They're not really thinking about the overall state of PvP. Like, they're thinking about purely the numbers, and sometimes some specs are just stronger than you would think, which has nothing with numbers, but has to do with the kit and how it interacts with like certain things, for example BGs. But anyways, thank you for watching, have a great day, be sure to stay safe. We will catch each other probably very soon in the next video. Have a great day, bye.